Pregunta número 1. Can you tell me your name?
Martín.
Martín.
Martín Sarasua.
Edad?
23.
And ethnic background.
Hispanic, Mexican.
Okay. ¿Dónde naciste?
Tepic Nayarit de México.
Okay. Pregunta número 2. How do you identify?
I identify myself as a Mexican, hard worker, dedicated.
What does your identity mean to you?
It means everything to me because it defines who I am in society.
Pregunta número 3. Tell me about a time when you felt like you were treated differently. It can be positive or negative, that you felt treated differently because of your identity.
I guess there was this one time that I went to go see my little brother at his base camp when I went to Missouri. And just by how I looked, they started treating me differently, asking me for more documentation that I had with me. It made me feel pretty bad because you've seen white families go into the base camp and they didn't get asked for anything, just their ID, but just because of my skin color, I guess, provoked them to ask me for documents that weren't necessarily needed. I guess that probably got me pretty good.
Pregunta número 4. What can you tell me about the history of Mexican Chicano people in the U.S.? Say.
Well, from my time experience, at least, it's gotten quite more simple because before we just had a fear of walking the streets because of ICE, I guess you can say. You were treated differently in the streets before than you are now. I guess more people are more open to working or being around Hispanic people than they were before. Before it was just more of a discriminate and racist environment. You couldn't go anywhere without being called a beaner or a wetback or just made fun of the accent that we had. But in the time right now, it did get a little better. But I guess when we got our new president, it got the same, if not worse. So it's a roller coaster. It went from bad to good to worse now.
Okay. Follow-up question. How do you think that history has impacted you?
Made me stronger. Because even though people make fun of who we are, I think we're more powerful because we're bilingual. We're more knowledgeable about how to treat people because we know what it feels like to be treated differently. So, damn, what was the question again?
How has history impacted you?
It just opens your eyes. You get to see how people are around you, and that makes me a better person. I think it makes anybody a better person just because the way they treat you feels real bad, and you try to focus on being a better person. And you get to see how bad it was before that you can even make your future generations be better people.
Okay, pregunta número 5. Where do you think stereotypes come from?
Our past generations. Movies, music. I think those are the main parts of where those come from.
Music, like...
Both, all genres. They make music making fun of themselves or others. And that's where I think stereotypes come from. For example, a couple of songs that I heard is that we need to eat beans and rice or beans and eggs. I've heard that in a couple songs, and no.
No, I haven't heard any.
Tenemos que comer frijoles. Come on. All right. Well, you can cut that up. The video.
I'm gonna keep that. Do you think they are true?
Most of them. Yes, I think that they are true.
What about the negative ones?
The negative ones, how?
Like they're lazy. They're always late.
Yeah. Even the negative ones. We're pros at being late. We'll be there at 5 o'clock when the party was at 3. There's a lot of us that are lazy. Like the one interviewing me right now, actually.
We'll cut that out.
Really lazy. You can't cut that out.
That's it?
Is that it?
No, that you're gonna answer for that question.
Well, that's all you asked me, so yes.
Okay. Pregunta número 6. What is your relationship to Mexico or Latin America?
Latino America?
Or to Mexico?
That's hard to say. I don't consider having not much any relationship with Mexico at all, because I was brought to the U.S. when I was only 3 months old. I've never been there. I was born there, but never went back. So that's a really hard question to answer. I've never been there. But I guess the only real relationship I have with Mexico is just that I was born there. And that's it.
What about soccer?
I guess playing soccer. But I guess playing soccer because it's played in Mexico. Don't know if it was originated there or not. But I guess that's a relationship I have with Mexico, is the sport. The food, actually. I love Mexico's food. I love El Salvador's food. I love a lot of Latino America food too. Their music. It's really the only relationship I have. That's it.
Follow-up question. How many languages do you speak?
3, if you consider Spanglish a language. 4 with sarcasm.
What about in your household?
2. Only 2. We only speak English and Spanish. No other languages.
But did you speak more Spanish when you lived back home?
Yes, I spoke a lot more Spanish because of my mom, my grandparents. They mainly speak Spanish. But now that I moved out, it's mainly English. But still won't die out because I still use Spanish a lot. Mucho. Very much.
Pregunta número 7. Describe the impact that images and narratives reveal about Mexicans and Latinos in the media.
Say that again?
Describe the impact that images and narratives reveal about Mexican and Latinos in the media.
It goes both ways. Like that one picture that we've seen, I'm pretty sure a lot has seen, of the father and the daughter that were washed up on the river. That impacted a lot of people. That impacted me because they're just seeking asylum. They're seeking for a better future. And for him going back to save his daughter and just drowning, instead of our president or border patrol just helping him out, wouldn't have happened. I guess the negative comments on the media of us saying that we're rapists, that we're criminals, gang affiliated, that's not 100% us. I wanted to say that belongs in the 10 to 5% of us, because I want to say there's 3 types. There's the gang affiliated, there's the middle class, and there's the workers. So it makes us look bad. Media makes us look bad, especially with Donald Trump. He made us look really bad, and just every time you see in the media that another Mexican or Latin American ran over somebody or shot somebody, just it hurts you because then they pretty much are right, even though not a lot of us are like that.
Guess you're playing that already. Pregunta número 8. What do you think are the most important issues pressing the Latino community right now?
Pressing the community. DACA. That's a big issue. I actually was a recipient of DACA, or I guess I still am. That's a major issue that they're trying to take it out. That one other one, forgot the one that they're doing for Salvadorians. Those programs, those are trying to be taken away.
TPS.
TPS, TPS. Those are impacts that we need help with to be able to keep going to school, to be able to buy the stuff that we need. Because without that, I wouldn't have been able to go to school. I would have been continuing after high school. I wouldn't have the car that I have right now. It's damn near impossible to do the things that we want to do or that we need to do without the programs like DACA and TPS. And just them trying to take it away is going to make it impossible for us to do all that. I want to purchase a home next year, and without any of the help that I'm getting right now, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen for anybody. Only benefits that people are going to have is the ones that have citizenship here in the U.S. People that are born outside but are a lot hard. They work harder than anybody here in the U.S. I think any Latinos, Latinas, Latinx, whatever you want to phrase that, we're the hardest workers here in the U.S., whether people are going to agree to that or not.
Última pregunta. Do you have any cultural traditions associated with Mexico or Latin America?
Yes.
¿Cuáles?
Dia de los Muertos. We still celebrate La Independencia de Mexico on the 16th of September. El 15 es el grito. What else?
¿Has hecho posadas? ¿Ido a posadas?
Not really. I haven't been to a posada in a while. But my parents do. We still go to church Sundays. That's still, I guess it's whatever you are, Catholic, or Christian, but I say it's still part of our culture because I know back in Mexico they go to church every Sunday. I still go through that sometimes, most of the times.
Fiestas?
Fiestas, quinceañeras, Mexican themed bodas, soccer games, baseball games, because in Mexico they play baseball actually, whether you believe it or not. Taquizas.
This is tradition.
That's tradition. I still make tamales with my family.
Navidad?
Navidad is Mexican.
Sí, pero the way you celebrate it.
I guess. Being with family. If you say so. Mexican themed Thanksgiving. No turkey here, just puro tamales.
I guess you explained that. Okay.
What?
That's it?
Explain what?
Decía, how do you practice them? But you did.
Like that.
Just like that. Okay, gracias.
Sí.